Hi everyone, Grace Daniel here. Welcome back to the U.S. Crime Files. This week's lineup of stories is intense, unsettling, and in some cases, deeply heartbreaking. We'll take a closer look at each case, unraveling the details and exploring the impact on communities and families. So, let's get started. We begin in bustling New York City, where an incident unfolded that's as bizarre as it is troubling. Imagine walking into a police precinct, going past clear, authorized personnel-only signs, and making your way inside an administrative office without anyone stopping you. That's exactly what prosecutors say 37-year-old Timothy Adams did early on Monday morning, January 19th. Surveillance footage reveals Adams moving casually, almost confidently, through the precinct's secure areas. Around 5:40 a.m., he reportedly helped himself to a full police uniform, handcuffs, keys, official documents, and other department equipment. Then, without hesitation, he walked out wearing the uniform and carrying a blue bag. One of the most puzzling questions remains: how did no one stop him during this audacious theft? The crime only came to light the following evening when a concerned caller dialed 911 to report an unconscious police officer inside the nearby Clinton House's public housing complex. But when officers arrived, they found not one of their own, but Adams himself passed out and still dressed in the stolen uniform. Once awake, Adams confessed to taking everything from the precinct, now facing multiple charges, including burglary, larceny, and criminal trespassing. Prosecutors paint a picture of a homeless man with a long criminal history, including prior felony convictions. His bail was set at $10,000, and authorities have ordered a psychiatric evaluation. This case raises serious questions about security and oversight, and it's a stark reminder of the complexities surrounding homelessness and crime. Moving west to Los Angeles, we encounter a tragic story that has left a community shattered. Andrew Jimenez, a 45-year-old firefighter from Glendale, now faces serious murder charges after allegedly killing his wife, Myra Jimenez, inside their North Hollywood home. Early on January 21st, Jimenez went to an LAPD station to request a welfare check on his wife. When officers arrived at the home, the scene they found was described as violent and bloody. Prosecutors allege Myra was brutally struck multiple times with an axe. Myra was a beloved elementary school teacher, known for her kindness and dedication. Her loss has sent shockwaves through the school community, leaving students, parents, and colleagues grappling with grief. Jimenez was taken into custody immediately and now faces a charge that could see him behind bars for 26 years to life. This heartbreaking case highlights the devastating impact domestic violence can have, not just on victims, but on entire communities. The investigation is ongoing, as authorities work to uncover the full story behind this tragic event. Now, turning to Colombia, a decorated U.S. Marine veteran's life was cut short in a senseless act of violence linked to an online sale gone horribly wrong. Michael Ryan Burke, 42, was trying to sell his iPhone from his home when he was shot. Despite his injuries, Michael managed to call 911, providing a description of his attackers. He also sent a final, heart-wrenching message to his mother and sister, saying, "I'm dying and I love you." Police later arrested 3 18-year-olds and a juvenile connected to a string of armed robberies targeting online sellers. Friends remember Michael as a selfless and courageous man who dedicated much of his life to serving others, both as a Marine and in his post-military work. His death has left a family and community devastated, underscoring the dangers of online transactions and the ripple effects of violent crime. In Arizona, the disappearance of 21-year-old Isabella Comas has sparked a frantic search and growing fears for her safety. Isabella vanished on January 11th after leaving a friend's house to meet her boyfriend, Tommy Rodriguez. The two had reportedly argued the day before her disappearance. A day after she went missing, her phone was found discarded with its tracking turned off. Days later, her car was discovered abandoned, its interior torn apart and smeared with blood. Rodriguez was seen driving the vehicle and later fled the state, but was eventually arrested. Rodriguez has a violent past, including a previous conviction for second-degree murder and recent charges related to stalking with threats involving weapons. Authorities continue to pursue every lead in the search for Isabella, emphasizing the urgency and gravity of the case. Her friends, family, and community remain hopeful yet deeply concerned as the investigation unfolds. In Indiana, a chilling attack targeting a sitting judge and his family has left the local community rattled. Judge Stephen Meyer and his wife were shot through their front door after a masked suspect knocked, claiming to have their dog. The timing was no coincidence. One of the suspects was due to appear in Meyer's courtroom on serious felony charges just days later. Police described the attack as premeditated and linked to ongoing criminal cases. Despite the violence, Judge Meyer has expressed his determination to continue serving on the bench, showing remarkable resilience in the face of this personal threat. 5 suspects are now in custody, and the investigation remains active. This case highlights the risks faced by those in the judicial system and the importance of safeguarding our legal institutions. Meanwhile, in Alabama, former Top Chef winner Kelsey Clark found herself in legal trouble after being arrested for DUI. Clark crashed into a mailbox while driving with her 2 young children in the car. Thankfully, no one was hurt. Clark, who rose to fame through her culinary talents and now runs a restaurant and catering business, faces misdemeanor charges. This incident serves as a reminder of the serious dangers and consequences associated with driving under the influence. Finally, in Minneapolis, tensions remain sky-high following the fatal shooting of protester Alex Jeffrey Prey during an ICE operation. Video footage and witness statements have sparked widespread outrage and debate, with conflicting narratives emerging between officials and the public. Some claim Prey brandished a firearm, while others argue he was restrained when the shooting occurred. Prey, a 37-year-old ICU nurse, was legally armed, and calls for an independent investigation are growing louder. His death has become a flashpoint in broader discussions about law enforcement practices, civil rights, and community police relations. These stories from across the country remind us of just how quickly lives can change and how vital it is to seek accountability, truth, and justice. Thank you for joining me on the U.S. Crime Files. If you found this video informative and important, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing. Your support helps us continue bringing you these crucial stories. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you next time.